Pokemon Sword and Shield, near the end of their run, introduced a ladder format called Series 13. This was the highest power level VGC format that I've ever yet played, and it was a lot of fun to experiment in. Series 13 not only allowed mythical Pokemon, like Regulation J has done, but it also dropped all restrictions on restricted Pokemon, so you could have as many restricted legendaries or mythicals on a team as you wanted. I thought it would be really funny in that crazy powerful format to take a level 1 baby Pokemon and try to get that Pokemon to Master Ball rank and get the Rank Master ribbon on it. And the one that I chose for that purpose was Pichu, because Pichu had not exactly a niche. I mean, it was never going to be as good as Incineroar or even like Pikachu, but I identified something that Pichu could do that would be useful into the format. You see, the metagame of Series 13 was very simple. Most teams were just Whimsicott and 5 powerful legendary Pokemon, and they would just click Tailwind and fire off big damage, and that was pretty much that. So I realized that Hard Trick Room could take advantage of how a lot of those teams were constructed, and that Pichu with Fake Out could be used to enable a Trick Room mode. I built this team right here, laddered up to Master Ball with it, brought Pichu to a majority of my games in the lead, and just clicked Fake Out, Trick Room, turn 1 most of the time, and that was effective enough that Pichu was able to earn that Rank Master ribbon. So when Scarlet and Violet introduced Regulation J, I decided that I wanted to bring back the same level 1 Pichu and try the same thing once again. And to do that, I adapted a Hard Trick Room team that I already had, taking inspiration from the team that had done it in Sword and Shield, using, I think, the same Magearna from that run as well. Made a few modifications to the team to suit Pichu's talents, and got back on the ladder once again. The challenge here was very simple. The goal, again, was to get from wherever I was as a starting point to Master Ball rank, and win a game in Master Ball rank. I had to have Pichu on my team the entire time, otherwise I was allowed to make changes on the fly. And I didn't have to bring Pichu to every game. There was no set number or proportion of games that it had to come to, except more than 0. But I did have to make a good faith effort to include Pichu in my game plans continuously all along the way. I knew it was going to be harder this time because people actually use things like Incineroar and other faster fake-out users in this format. Covert Cloak was added in this generation, so was Farigiraf with its Armor Tail ability, so was Terra Ghost, which a lot of Pokemon use precisely to avoid Fake Out. So I had a feeling this was going to be a bit of a rockier road than it was in Sword and Shield, but I was ready to give Pichu a try once again, and so late in November, I sat down to stream the run and see if I could earn Pichu that Master Ball Rank Master ribbon twice over. This is extremely laggy. I don't remember having this issue when I was streaming Legends ZA. But I'm gonna try. If it's too difficult to battle with this setup, maybe I'll try restarting or try again tomorrow if it's really not working. Hopefully not. I'm also doing this right at the end of the month, which I realize is the easiest time for this. That was not the plan. I actually intended to do this way earlier in November, but then I just didn't get ready quickly enough. I wasn't really set up to do this until last weekend, and then I had basically no free time last weekend. So this weekend was what remained. It's not intentional that I'm doing this at probably the easiest time of the month. Source, trust me, bro. And try ranked battles. I haven't played ranked battles in quite a while. Like, I don't think I've actually played the cart ladder in Reg J yet. I've just played a lot of showdowns, so I'm probably going to be pretty low. I don't know when Season 33 was, but I think it was a few months ago. You trust me? Probably. Alright, I'll take that. Okay, I'm in Pokeball 5. Okay, this person has no restricted Pokemon, but they do have an Incineroar. This might not be a Pichu game. I think this is a... I don't think I have to bring Pichu to this one. Again, I have to make my decisions kind of quickly because there's way too much lag. In fact, I think I'll probably restart after this one game because this is just not very workable. Oh, we'll see. Let's see if I can get through this one game, though. And I'm just going to leave the Pichu behind for this one. I'm going to bring Magearna and Ursaluna. The nice thing is, I just need to get... I mean, Pichu already has the Rank Master ribbon, so I can't actually earn it. But to earn it twice over, I just have to get a win in Master Ball with Pichu on my team. But I am using Pichu on my team all the way through, and I do expect to bring it to some games. Yeah, I heard those Pokemon get sent out way before I saw it. That's not good. Raymer King says, hi, YouTube. If this specifically gets into a video, say it back. Fair ground. Ah, I could have just Glacial Lanced. I did think about it. Oh, still KOs. Alright. I thought about trying something different, but on in-game ladder, you just have to stack up enough wins over time, and this setup should mow down a lot of opponents, especially in the lower ranks. Oh, this Ursaluna is definitely slower than this Calyrex, because this is not min-speed Calyrex. Because there are many tedious things in Pokemon that I don't mind doing, but resetting my game over and over is something I do mind doing. Which is why I would probably not play Hard Trick Room in a major tournament in a restricted format. That was Helmet Tyranitar? Huh. Okay. Alright, well that's a win. This Breloom is super funny. Of course I have it. I trained it so I can catch things easily with Spore and False Swipe. But the funny thing about that Breloom is because I've been running all over the region with it, it has high friendship. And I'm running the Toxic Orb because I have Poison Heal on it. But it gets the friendship effects in in-game battles, so very often when I'm trying to catch something, Breloom is cured of its poisoning that I actually want it to have, and then the Toxic Orb immediately poisons it again. And I miss out on some of those recovery turns. I think it's better now. Yeah, so far so good. Alright, time for Pichu. I like the idea... Oh, I got to Pokeball 6. I like the idea of trying a baby Pokemon in a mythical format. Pichu is so small you can see the dot above its head that would mark an empty Pokemon slot if that were empty. That's pretty silly. So I have this, and then 3 tiers of Great Ball, 1 tier of Ultra Ball, and I think to be consistent here, the goal should be to win a game in Master Ball. Even though Pichu actually already has the Rank Master Ribbon. The goal should be to do the equivalent of earning it again. Opponent, please. I got one. That actually worked. Raymer King, you're not back yet, are you? Oh, we used Chapter Great Ball 7 for this opponent. Okay. And communication error. But that counts as a win. So, okay, we take those. Tornadus probably is a Covert Cloak. Fluttermane is a Ghost type. Chi-Yu could maybe turn into a Ghost type. Oh, that's the other thing. Terra Ghost is common. That's another reason that Fake Out Pichu doesn't feel as good as it did in Sword and Shield. Nonetheless, I don't see a Fake Out user, so I'm going to try Pichu. Pichu, Calyrex, because it's my bulkiest Trick Room setter. And then I think Magearna and Ursaluna. I think it's nice and simple like that. Well, we'll see if this works. It's not supposed to be the easiest thing ever. I'm using a Pichu. It's at level 1. Although not in battle, because everything gets set automatically to level 50. But in my mind, keeping this Pichu at level 1 is very much part of the flavor of the challenge. Okay, Chi-Yu Gallade. Gallade also, I think, gets Inner Focus, but probably is not using it, right? You always run Sharpness. Alright, I think it's safer to fake out Gallade than Chi-Yu, because Chi-Yu, I think there's a very good chance it turns into a ghost type here. Shiny Chi-Yu, by the way, looks great. So with that in mind, I think I just go straight for the Terra Fairy on Calyrex in the hope that it can take an Overheat or a Dark Pulse or something. Chi-Yu would be the better Trick Room target if I were confident that it wouldn't turn into a ghost type. It looks like it's not turning into a ghost type because I think their Terra would have come out first. Whoops. If I were using that Chi-Yu, I probably would have turned it into a ghost type this turn. But there's my Terra Fairy Calyrex. One of the few changes I made. Wide Guard Gallade. If I just faked out the Chi-Yu, they'd do no damage this turn. Oh well. Take that, Gallade. Heat Wave did so much. No! This is rough. They have the Wide Guard too. But I can High Horsepower the Chi-Yu, and... Oh, you know what I could do? I can High Horsepower Chi-Yu and Encore Gallade to lock it into Wide Guard. Why is Pichu here? That's just the point of the challenge. It's just get a baby Pokemon to Master Ball rank. I did this in Sword and Shield with exactly the same Pichu, so I wanted to run it back in a mythical format in this game. Yeah, so they're gonna click Wide Guard. I'm looking to lock them into that. I'll High Horsepower the Chi-Yu. And I don't really need spread moves if one of their Pokemon slots doesn't really do anything, right? There goes Chi-Yu. And that's a Chilling Neigh for me. Is this the same music as last game? The Raymer King's not here to confirm. Is this the same music as last game, even though I have set it to random now? Again, in Sword and Shield, the one difference in Pichu's moves compared to Sword and Shield is that in that game it had Charm instead of Encore. But this Gallade probably has a clear Amulet. Maybe not. The Groudon might have it. But yeah, not having Charm I think comes in handy here. I don't know if I Encore or not Encore. I don't know if I Helping Hand High Horsepower or Volt Switch High Horsepower, but I think Helping Hand, because it's a Pichu. How much is Volt Switch going to do, even to Kyogre? I can't Glacial Lance. I mean, Kyogre resists that anyway, but also the Gallade now has to click Wide Guard if it stays in. So, Helping Hand it is. Get some damage at least before Calyrex goes down, and then I still have a few more Trick Room turns with Magearna and Ursaluna. I missed. No! Okay, maybe I didn't quite remember that could happen. What do I have on Magearna? Oh, I have Water Terra Blast. I never talked about Magearna's set. I can't Terrasilize it this game, obviously. Oh, I should change that, actually. Because I was kind of afraid of Incineroar. Maybe I'm still a little bit afraid of Incineroar. I went Terra Water, Terra Blast, Magearna, along with Dazzling Gleam and Flash Cannon. So Magearna's actually kind of bad into this Wide Guard Gallade. Like, the best move I've got on it... I might have thrown this. The best move I've got on Magearna here is... normal Terra Blast. I think I have to get my Guts, even though that gives them an opening. I could Flash Cannon Gallade, I guess. What's this Terra? Although I guess if I changed Magearna's set, I would just drop Terra Blast for Protect. That wouldn't really be helpful here either. Terra Water is fine, just Facade. But I am about to run out of Trick Room turns, probably too quickly. So actually I don't feel good about where this game is going. Origin Pulse, obviously into my Protect. It's going to do a lot to Magearna, isn't it? Doesn't quite KO though, okay. Alright, well, if they have Protect on anything, I'm in some trouble, but Facade Kyogre... and I'll Flash Cannon the Kyogre slot as well. I hope Facade just one-shots. I would like the damage into Gallade. Especially Soul Heart boosted. Okay, good, it does. Now I get +1 Flash Cannon into Glade. Probably okay. I don't know what their last Pokemon is. They DC. Okay. We take those, I guess. It might have been choiced Kyogre. Terra Grass, I think it only ever clicked Origin Pulse. Probably was choiced. Okay, Great Ball 7. They do have Incin. I think if I see Incin, I bring in DD instead of Pichu. I think I bring this. I kind of like Torkoal here because it underspeeds their Calyrex. But Ursaluna is more threatening to the rest of their team, and at least it speed ties their Calyrex. I hate Leech Seed, Ice Rider, Calyrex. I'm not usually one to hate a particular threat in these games. I don't have kind words for Leech Seed, Ice Rider, Calyrex. Dondozo, kind of annoying, whatever. Ting-Lu, kind of annoying, whatever. Okay, sure. I thought it would protect. No, we survive. Ting-Lu, kind of annoying, whatever. Urshifu, don't care. Actually think that mon is totally fine. Sneasler, a little bit of cheese sometimes, not so bad. One thing I really don't enjoy facing in these games is Leech Seed, Ice Rider, Calyrex. Soul Heart might be the thing that breaks through here. Let's see. Glacial Lance comes out first. Is Magearna in range? No. That's another Soul Heart. Let's go. Alright, Magearna. Big Flash Cannon. Let's see it. Oh, and then when Trick Room wears off, I'm actually faster. So that's kind of perfectly... Oh, but Magearna I think would drop to the Leech Seed, but... doesn't have to. Not showing the Flash Cannon until that turn pays off, I guess, but I don't know why they never Terastallized. Maybe they were Terra Fairy. That would make sense. That's a Terra type some people run on an Ice Rider, and it wouldn't be helpful against Magearna. I still have a DD in the back, so I win. Once again, there are some possible Ghost Terras. It's a little bit risky, but I think it's a Pichu game. I kind of would like to lead Ursaluna, but I have to set the Trick Room somehow, so... is it the Terra Fairy Ice Rider, or is it Magearna? I think it's the Ice Rider. I think I trust the Ice Rider more as a Trick Room setter in most situations. Although Magearna is pretty bulky too. Maybe I just trust Ice Rider more because I'm more used to it, and maybe that's irrational. Random music is definitely on now. Gee, Calyrex, they can just... They Terra Ghost the Chi-Yu, then I can't fake out anything. This is what I was worried about at preview. But I don't have anything else to do here, so I'm going to fake out the Chi-Yu anyway. My last opponent didn't Terra. I absolutely Terra Fairy and can go for Trick Room here. But yeah, I certainly have found a way I can lose this. I don't think they Terra'd though, because I think theirs would have come out first. The scenario where I lose this is I actually bring Pichu, but then that's kind of the point, isn't it? Here's the fake out into Chi-Yu. Still not punished. They only get one attack. And Trick Room goes up. And I think I'm down here to... Astral Barrage does so much damage. I'm actually still in quite a bit of danger. I kind of would like to high horsepower Chi-Yu and Volt Switch Chi-Yu. But I think I have to target their Calyrex. So I'll Glacial Lance. I mean, Chi-Yu might knock out my Calyrex as well. Protect it. That was always a possibility too. Okay, I should have focused on the Chi-Yu after all. I got Cold Feet. But if I can get Ursaluna in safely, that Pokemon goes crazy here. It might still be okay. Is it just Heat Wave? Yeah. Doesn't knock out Calyrex. Nice. Do I go Ursaluna or do I go Magearna? I think with the damage I already have into Chiyu, I go Magearna. I look for those Soul Heart boosts. I can Glacial Lance and Dazzling Gleam this turn. Glacial Lance might even take out Chiyu. It does, so that's Chilling Neigh and Soul Heart. Chilling Neigh only works if for the Pokemon that personally takes the KO, but Soul Heart works if anything faints at all. And that's now single target +1 Dazzling Gleam into their Calyrex. Knocking that out. That's another Soul Heart boost. Magearna is not as broken as it's looked so far here. It has an awkward... Great, spam bot. Don't follow that link. Magearna has an awkward speed tier because it's kind of fast for a Trick Room mod, but it's still so good. I think I Terra one of these. I don't think I have to care. I think I could just if they protect the Rhydon, there could be some ways this get tricky. I think I just Glacial Lance Flash Cannon and hope I can deal with whatever they come up with. And I think I ban that bot while I wait for their move. Here we go. There's the Terra. Which Mon is it? Either one could cause me a little bit of trouble. Koraidon would be scarier though, yeah. But even then, Koraidon's not that bulky. What does occur to me though is that Brute Bonnet might be slow enough to mess with me here. Okay, but it's faster than my Calyrex. Doesn't quite KO. If they Spore Magearna, I could be in trouble still. They do. That's smart of them. I can lose to that, although I don't have to lose to that. What does Koraidon do? Flame Charge. Flame Charge is... Well, it doesn't have any drawback, right? The speed boost doesn't matter in this game, but it doesn't have any drawback, and it's enough to KO my Calyrex, so I understand clicking that. Okay, I have Magearna and Ursaluna remaining. That is another Soul Heart, but Magearna's asleep. I have taken the one guaranteed sleep turn. This is the last turn of Trick Room. Ursaluna will be slower than Brute Bonnet, guaranteed. Do I Earthquake, take out my own Magearna? Make sure I hit the Brute Bonnet. Because the thing is, I want to Headlong Rush Koraidon, but if they protect Koraidon and Spore Ursaluna, that's GG, right? It's risky, but I'm going to click Earthquake. Oh, they tried to redirect my attack. Okay, I think this pays off. I don't have the burn yet, but it's the last turn of Trick Room. I can't afford to wait. Yeah, that worked. Didn't even knock out Magearna. Nice. That was kind of a scary play to make, but... Yeah, the Rage Powder also would have been a problem. If they redirected the Headlong Rush away from Ursaluna, it would have knocked out Brute Bonnet at that range, but... Or away from Koraidon, I mean. But what I was worried about was Koraidon gets through the turn, it takes a KO this turn, and then it's faster than everything, and it takes a KO the next turn. And I did find the one play that prevented that. That's another win for Pichu. It did a thing. It faked out the Chiyu, and Calyrex survived one turn longer, probably because of that. Great Ball 8. I can't fake out anything with Farigiraf around, so I think this one is not a Pichu game. Magearna and Calyrex overwhelm once again. And I have no Wide Guard on my team because I dropped the Smeargle. Okay, well, Pichu can fake out their Darkrai in anything except Psychic Terrain unless it has a Covert Cloak or it turns into a Ghost type. I think this is a Pichu game. With the usual friends. Actually, Torkoal might be good here. I just don't know how it ever does anything to Gouging Fire, so I don't bring Torkoal to this one. Whoops. It's a Pichu game. I'm definitely feeling in this format more than I did in Series 13 that there are a lot of ways the Pichu idea can go wrong. But we're trying. This is Penny's theme, right? I haven't heard this one in a while. I'm going to Fake Out, but I'm also going to Terra Fairy to hedge for... No, I'm not. They're not attacking this turn. Oh, what is a danger, actually, is Encore Whimsicott. Because I didn't bring Indeedee to this game, so I actually just Glacial Lance this turn instead of clicking Trick Room. Even though that's super awkward for me after this turn. They just Moonblast, okay, into Pichu. Oh no, my Volt Switch damage. I land Dark Void into both my Pokemon with no gravity. Ah! Alright, well Pichu's gonna drop to the Bad Dreams now. Yeah. Next. I don't know what you're saying, new chatter, but I think it's probably not good. I go Ursaluna, I can protect to get the burn, but then Whimsicott can just Encore Lock that, so I just have to be lucky. It is good? What does it mean then? Put it in other terms that I'll understand more easily. Okay, I just have to hope I get it. Still have the Encore pressure. Okay, yeah, you can be banned. I was charitable there. Allowing for maybe an innocent misunderstanding, but nah. Do I have to Dazzling Gleam? I think so. I switched the Whimsicott out. I could have... Well, I could have set Trick Room just as likely as getting this Dazzling Gleam. Here's the Groudon. Can't believe I'm playing the cooler Dreamyard Darkrai on ladder right now. They just don't care. They just click the Dark Void. No setup. Except this time I actually clicked Dark Pulse. So Magearna gets... I had a free Trick Room there and I just didn't know I had it. Ah! Okay, Calyrex is tormented. Me too. Terra Water. Trick Room. Protect Calyrex. It might wake up and avoid getting knocked out by another Dark Pulse if that's what they go for. Terra Water helps Magearna take a hit from Groudon. Calyrex wakes up. I get the Protect. What does Darkrai go for? Dark Pulse into Calyrex? I might get Trick Room after all. Now, is it Terra Fire Groudon? If it is, I mean, what do I do? Right? Oh, it did so much. I actually think... Man, even though the sun is up, I actually think I probably should Water Terra Blast the Groudon to cover for Terra Fire. No. I can high horsepower the Groudon. It's just bad if they don't Terra Fire. Alright, I'll Water Terra Blast. If it doesn't do enough damage, you can understand my reasoning at least. Glacial Lance. There's a Terra. Water? Uh-oh. Flash Cannon would have been fine. Water Terra Blast is not. To protect the Darkrai. I'm about to be down to only Ursaluna, which is not a bad last Pokemon to have, but I have not taken a KO yet. I mean, Earthquake is pretty free next turn. I don't need the Guts boost, so that's something. It's Ursaluna against the world here. It's not impossible. It could happen. Let's go, Ursaluna. Show them your Earthquake. They have Whimsicott in the back, and one of Indeedee, Iron Crown, and Gouging Fire. So no Earthquake immunities. So if I get locked into Earthquake, that's probably still okay. This gets 2 KOs, and I get my burn. They also can't Terrasilize anything, so if it's like Terra Flying, it wouldn't be Terra Flying on any of those, but if it were, getting locked into Earthquake is still fine. Unless it's like Air Balloon Gouging Fire, but it's not going to be that either. Whimsicott. And Gouging Fire. I'm ready for the Air Balloon. No Air Balloon. Speed boosting, pretty standard. Oh, nope, not that move. This move. They could protect Gouging Fire, maybe try to cheese something with Whimsicott. I'm pretty sure Earthquake is not a contact move. Actually, Ursaluna doesn't care about being burned anyway. In fact, it cares so little that it's already burned. So we'd be good anyway. But I can't click Protect regardless, because Whimsicott is always threatening to lock me into that. Earthquake does a little bit more than half to Whimsicott. That's what I like to see. Endeavor is not what I like to see. But I think there are still multiple turns of Trick Room left. I'm still a couple turns away from being knocked out by burn damage, and these... Oh, there's only one turn of Trick Room left. Okay, well, they might not get the double Burning Bulwark. How is there only one turn of Trick Room left? I feel like I just set it up. This should knock out both, I think. Nice. Alright, look at that. Ursaluna pulled that one back. Even though they went full the cooler Dreamyard Darkrise mode and just clicked the 50% Dark Void without a care in the world and actually landed it into every target. Well, I guess part of the problem is they stopped doing that after turn 1. If this gets into a YouTube video later and nobody knows what I mean by going full the cooler Dreamyard Darkrise, that means you haven't watched the last Draft League season I played, PDL Season 9. There's a playlist. It was a fun season. This is not a Pichu game. They have the Cineroar and they have Farigiraf, two things that discouraged me from bringing Pichu. I continue to think that if there's one Pokemon in these games that is super broken and an actual problem for the format, it's Ice Rider Calyrex. I actually think Ice Rider Calyrex is okay. It's probably just the best Pokemon, but Terra-type roulette with it is really difficult sometimes, and I don't enjoy the Leech Seed set. I don't think it's a Pichu game. Because Pichu's one job is click Fake Out to enable Trick Room, and I don't think I set Trick Room in this game. Oh, it's Arvolva. I don't think that gets Wide Guard. It looks like a Pokemon that could get Wide Guard, but I don't think it does. Maybe I just haven't noticed. What if it gets Wide Guard? You know what? I'm going to hedge for potentially getting Wide Guard. I'm going to click Follow Me instead of switching to Gear Name. Nope, they forfeit. Okay, we're fine. I don't think it gets Wide Guard, but it has those big long arms. It looks like a Pokemon that could get Wide Guard. I think it's a Pichu game. I think if I'm ever going to find another Pichu game, this is what it looks like. And I bring these 4. Chi-Yu Terrapagos. That makes me not really want to Terra Fairy. Is this going to be the opponent who actually clicks Terra Ghost on the Chiyu turn 1? Nobody has yet. I've been able to get away with Fake Out into Chiyu. I'm going to gamble on that and not Terra Fairy the Calyrex. And make it weak to Terra Starstorm. Oh, it's Terrapagos. They almost certainly want to Terrasilize that. So if this is Chiyu Terrasilizing... Okay, that would have been really something, but no, it's not. There's a flinch. There's Starstorm. Good thing I didn't make my Calyrex weak to that. That still does so much damage. Uh-oh. Okay. I think I lose my Calyrex this turn, regardless. So while I could try to snipe the Chi with a high horsepower, I actually think my better play is to Helping Hand and Glacial Lance for maximum damage into whatever. And then count on Magearna and Ursaluna to clean up. Those hands are so much bigger than the Pokemon conjuring them. I got big damage into both of these. This is setting up for Magearna in the back, is the idea. Terra Starstorm will, I think, take out both of my Mons here. But that gives me Magearna and Ursaluna. Ursaluna should be fine without its burn this next turn. Because these two are both low. They've already used their Terra. I think it's just Dazzling Gleam and an unboosted Facade into Terrapagos. Unlike Calyrex, once again, Magearna gets boosted anytime anything faints while it's on the field, does not have to deliver the KO itself. I clicked Dazzling Gleam, right? I think I did. I certainly meant to. Big Dazzling Gleam. 2 KOs. Nice. What have they got in the back? They had something super slow, right? Rhyperior? But I can Terra Water now that Terrapagos is gone. So I can probably handle Rhyperior. It would still do a lot of damage, but Magearna's pretty bulky. Also, Ursaluna is a threat to Rhyperior. That is +2, right? I think that was only the text of +1. They did both faint. Lucario? Shadow Rider Calyrex, okay. Could be... Sash Shadow Rider. Could be. I think Magearna's Terra Water does nothing here. I think how many turns of Trick Room left? 2. I think I'm down here to Dazzling Gleam, Terra Ghost, to cover for an attack from the Lucario, if that's where the Sash is or something. And Headlong Rush the Calyrex. This does make me weaker to Astral Barrage, but they have to get their Calyrex out of the Trick Room first. Before that's a serious problem. Extreme Speed into Ursaluna. Nice. It is Sash Calyrex. Good thing I covered for that. Here comes the Dazzling Gleam. Lucario could be choiced as well. Doesn't matter, it gets knocked out here. Nice. Good quick one there. Don't know if that gets me to Ultra Ball, or like almost to Ultra Ball, but we'll see. I have Incineroar and Farigiraf. I don't think it's a Pichu game. They forfeit. Nice. Oh, sleepy. But I've reached Ultra Ball. If I win maybe 2 or 3 more in a row, that's it. I don't know if that'll happen. My team should be slow enough that Pichu mode is just fine here. I think it's a Pichu game. Do you want to bring Torkoal or Ursaluna? Torkoal's not bad here, right? Except it is really bad into Tinglu, and it's actually also pretty bad into Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. So Ursaluna it is. I can Facade the Superior or whatever. Here we go. Ogerpon Superior. Okay. And a DC. That's probably not on my end. It's very rare that I get disconnected, but it's not impossible. I don't think that was me. They've got Fake Out Bros. It's an Indeedee game. Even then, they could not lead. They could lead Incineroar and then switch Rillaboom in turn 1 and then Fake Out. But whatever, can't cover for everything. Sorry, Pichu. I'm sure you would have put in a lot of work last game if it had happened. On to the next game. I don't know if I can bring Pichu to this game because if they lead, they're restricted. Faking one of them out might not be enough. Actually, you know what I can... Taunt Tornadus is a problem too. I might need Psychic Terrain to stop Taunt Tornadus. Okay. I could probably get away with Pichu Magearna lead here. But Taunt Tornadus wrecks that. Chat, if anyone's in chat, I'm conflicted. The responsible choice is Indeedee. The content choice is Pichu. I do want to actually complete this thing, ideally today. That's gotta be Pichu, hasn't it? Pichu, Magearna, Calyrex, Ursaluna. I just don't want to see Tornadus clicking Taunt turn 1, that's all. Into Magearna specifically. No Tornadus lead. Fake Out Urshifu, Fake Out Urshifu, Terra Water, Magearna, Trick Room. Let's see. Game is played into Magearna. Resisted. Trick Room up. It would actually be really nice to be able to click Charm into this Zacian right now. It would be so very nice. Oh well, Volt Switch it is. I'm gonna Volt Switch into Urshifu, just in case this Dazzling Gleam misses the KO somehow. Oh, Pichu's gonna be slower than Magearna, isn't it? Okay, but Zacian protects, so that's fine. Yeah, Pichu goes next. Actually, now the Encore pressure would be nice to have next turn, and I won't have it. Oh well. Let's go ahead and get Ursaluna in for free, because Urshifu is about to drop anyway. Goodbye, Urshifu. Hello, Soul Heart Boost. Now I can bring Pichu back in later and fake out something again. A rare privilege for Pichu, getting to click Fake Out twice in a game. It would be so nice to Encore the Zacian right now, but it's okay, I can Headlong Rush it. Oh. Huh. Okay, well... They can Rage... I should take out Amoonguss so I can't Spore my Magearna, right? Assad... What is stronger, Flash Cannon or Terra Blast? Are they the same? Into Zacian, I mean. In that case, Flash Cannon in case it's redirected and somehow Amoonguss survives the Ursaluna hit. Because Amoonguss, of course, resists. Oh. Should've just taken the KO on Zacian. Of course Amoonguss was going to be slower than Ursaluna. I'm forgetting how to play Hard Trick Room. Uh-oh. Doesn't even KO? No. What does Zacian do? Sacred Sword into Ursaluna doesn't knock it out, but Amoonguss, if it has any attack at all, can knock it out now. But does this buy Magearna a chance to attack? We can only hope. What if Amoonguss doesn't have an attack? Or it has, like, Clear Smog. I wouldn't bet that KOs my Ursaluna. Bug Bomb. Does KO. Ah. Might have thrown. They just Headlong Rush the Zacian last turn. Okay, Magearna wakes up. Takes out Amoonguss. Not over yet. What does Zacian do? Sacred Sword into Magearna? I don't know how much damage that does. Might KO. Yep. I should have just taken out the Zacian last turn. I'm frustrated about that one. But okay, it's a 2v2 now. But I don't think it's in my favor. Their restricteds match up well into my remaining restricted. Yeah, I'm annoyed with how I played this one. Oh well. The last turn of Trick Room. Okay. I think Zacian is more likely to protect than Kyogre. A lot of Kyogre run choice items. Ground Sword Zacian literally can't. Griefing myself with his Terra Fairy Ice Rider. I've already used my Terra anyway. But obviously it wouldn't help into Behemoth Blade. Alright, yeah, I lose this one. GG. Completely misplayed against the Amoonguss. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna take a small break after this game, but I don't think I'm ending yet. I would still like to accomplish the goal today, but we'll see. The problem matchup for this team, they have their own Psychic Terrain. I also don't know that I want to set Trick Room. This is probably a lead my restricteds and start blasting kind of game. Remembering Torkoal too. Could come in handy. This actually might be a win. It's possible. It's possible. It starts with the speed tie. I clicked Earthquake. So Rage Powder's not an issue. I lose the speed tie. Okay. If it is a speed tie, they might not have min speed, but on this team I'm confident that they do. Oh! No, I still dropped a burn damage. Ah! This one was actually super close, even though it didn't look like it. Because I don't think their Lunala could beat a healthy Ursaluna. And that was almost certainly a speed tie. That's so frustrating. I'm playing until one more loss, but I think I'm starting to tilt a little, so... if I win a bunch and then I lose one, maybe I'll keep going. But if I lose the next game, that's it for today. This might be the last game of the stream. We'll see. And I think it's a Pichu game. And you know what? I think I leave the Magurna behind for this one. Maybe not. It's my best answer to Enamorus. No, but I need something to beat Volcanion. That's probably Ursaluna, and Torkoal is my best answer to a lot of the rest of their team in general, apart from the Volcanion, so I actually think I have to bring both of those. Maybe I shouldn't bring maybe I should bring Magurna instead of Pichu, but oh well. I locked in. Pichu, I'm putting my hopes on you. On your back. Arceus or Ursaluna? It's like I'm back in Hisui. I don't know that I want a Trick Room here. Their Ursaluna is probably slower than my Arceus. And it's probably slower than my Pichu if they Protect here, which I think they probably will, like an Encore if Trick Room is not up. So I'm going to fake out Arceus, and then I'm actually going to Glacial Lance. I do have Torkoal in the back. It's kind of awkward for me if Trick Room never goes up, but what if it's Covert Cloak Arceus? It honestly could be on this team. I don't think I've ever seen Covert Cloak Arceus, but it actually would make sense to me with the way they've constructed their team. Terra immediately. It's Ursaluna. Is it not protecting? I thought it would protect to get its burn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Arceus protects. Okay, so there's no Trick Room. Which again I think is good, because their Ursaluna is probably slower than my Calyrex. Because I'm just not resetting for a min-speed Calyrex. I'm not willing to do it. Not great damage. Earthquake. Okay. It would be really funny if I get the chance to Encore their Ursaluna into Earthquake so that they have to damage their own Arceus. I'm actually gonna... You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, I have two options. I can click Encore into Arceus so that if it goes for Trick Room, it's stuck clicking Protect instead. That's a really speculative play, though. I actually think I'm better off clicking Helping Hand so that this Glacial Lance will do more damage to Ursaluna this time. Ah, now it protects? Because they're going for the Trick Room, aren't they? Wait, that means Encore into Arceus was actually the right play. It just was so speculative. I couldn't commit to it. Well, I could have, but I thought this was probably better. Encore into Arceus would have been amazing. It would have been so good. I can still do it. Oh, I can still do it now to force them to reverse the Trick Room. But I think it's better. Ursaluna's going to be slower than Pichu, right? Okay, then Pichu actually just has to click Helping Hand, I think. And I have to hope that Calyrex takes this next hit. Unfortunately, Pichu's base speed is higher than these guys, so what can you do? Calyrex takes the hit. What does Arceus go for? It doesn't matter. Arceus is not the next Pokemon in the move order. 2 KOs from 2 HP Calyrex. Unbelievable. Ah, that Encore play into Arceus would have been so cool, but this still works out so far, and I have my Ursaluna and Torkoal in the back. Torkoal is huge, especially if they didn't bring Volcanion. They might have brought Volcanion. It is pretty good into my team. It beats both my restricteds. How do they even have a Volcanion? I don't have a Volcanion. I have every Pokemon in the game except 2 in my home, but Volcanion is one of the 2. I think Enamorus is slower than Calyrex. So I think I can just take 2 KOs here. And I think it's in my best interest to let them do that and try to win with Torkoal and Ursaluna. So I'll Helping Hand just in case, but I don't think I actually get this attack off. Actually, maybe I should just click... Nah, Volt Switch isn't... Volt Switch was not it. I think this is fine. It doesn't do anything, but I think it's fine. I think I do just let these two go down here. And not worry about damage. It's Life Orb and Amorous. How many Trick Room turns left? So what I'd like to do is protect both of my Pokemon on this next turn. And then Weather Ball and Amorous and Headlong Rush Volcanion. That's what I'd like to do here. This is the second last turn of Trick Room. Volcanion usually runs an Assault Vest. It might not have Protect. I'm going to make the play anyway. We can scout what they go for as well. Especially with Flamethrower, because you probably want to also have Heat Wave and Steam Eruption and some kind of coverage. I'm pretty sure its most common item by far is Assault Vest. Now, I probably Terra here. I think I should Terra the Torkoal. Maybe not. Steam Eruption is going to be weakened by the sun, but it's still going to hit Ursaluna hard. I'm just worried if something goes wrong, if I don't know my speed interactions or something. But I want to make sure I get the KO on an Amorous. I think Ursaluna is slower than Volcanion. I think Terrafire Torkoal is okay here. Big Weather Ball, no protects. KOs. And Ursaluna is important because Torkoal just loses to Volcanion. Okay, Ursaluna does underspeed Volcanion. I was pretty sure Volcanion was faster. There it goes. Alright, that one went pretty well. Even though I missed what could have been the coolest play of the whole stream. Well, I didn't miss it. I just decided it wasn't my safest option, but it would have worked as it turned out. But letting them set Trick Room up actually worked in my favor in the end, because once their Ursaluna was gone, Torkoal and Ursaluna on my side were just unstoppable, pretty much. So I guess making the coolest play of the whole stream would actually have been detrimental, probably. Not a Pichu game, that's for sure. Glacial Lance for the accuracy. I've missed a couple of high horsepowers this stream, and Alluring Voice, and they forfeit. This could be a Pichu game, but I don't think it's a Pichu game. Sorry, Pichu. I feel like I'm letting Pichu down. It did get to more games in Sword and Shield, but I've talked through at length now why it was better positioned in Sword and Shield Series 13 than it is in Scarlet and Violet Regulation J. Oh well. Or Pichu. The Iron Ball Kyogre. Well, I still didn't have enough damage into it. It's fine. I know I was never winning that. Next game. Am I nuts, or is this a Miraidon game where I actually can bring Pichu? And then Ice Rider, as long as Pichu is on the field, which is probably not very long, is incredible into Miraidon and Iron Hands. Honestly, pretty good in Champao too, with the Terra Fairy. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to see it. Torkoal might be good in this game. Do I want Torkoal instead of Magearna? There's a case for it. Magearna's fine, I think. Oh, that was weird. I was looking away from the screen, and then I saw that kind of an odd-looking transition. At least it looked odd in the corner of my eye. Maybe it wasn't. Okay, well, guess what I'm not very afraid of right now in this position? I think I just Terra immediately anyway because... Oh, it's not Meteor Beam Lunala. It's Electric Seed Lunala. Of course it is on this team. Well, you know what? Still turning off the... Turning off the Moongeist Beam weakness is still nice. Terra Fairy Pichu with... Excuse me. Terra Fairy Ice Rider Calyrex with Pichu. It finally happened. Maybe they forgot about Lightning Rod. Well, I'm faking out the Murad on this turn anyway. And if Pichu survives the turn, it's an F. Well, I'm faking out the Murad on. I don't think they have a way to knock out Pichu this turn. Pichu, I love that little cry when it does that. If Pichu survives the turn and they don't wide guard here, I can make sure they don't wide guard next turn. Okay, yeah, not weak to the Moongeist Beam. Comes up. Give me that Encore into Lunala and that Glacial Lance. Oh, wide guard has priority. This doesn't work. Oh well. Please don't click wide guard. No. Okay, well locking it into wide guard is also actually good. Is Miraidon... Can't knock anything out this turn, probably. And I can just switch to clicking high horsepower. This actually is okay, I think. That just... That's a special attack boost on my Pichu, and now... I Helping Hand and high horsepower Miraidon. A lot of their team doesn't want to switch in on that Sinistra could. Who's coming in? Iron Hands. Okay. That does start and fake out next turn. Look at those big hands. Okay. Would have loved a KO, but take what we get here. 2 more turns of Trick Room. If I can sneak Ursaluna onto the field here. They can't attack with Lunala, so high horsepower to Iron Hands, even if I get faked out, is fine. Finally, this Terra Fairy Ice Rider feeling kind of justified. Lunala switches out. That removes the wide guard from the field. Sinistra comes in. Are they... What are they doing with the hands? Are they not faking out? Oh, I hope it's not fighting move into Pichu. That would be unfortunate. It is fake out. Okay. But now I can wide guard. I mean... I can Glacial Lance. What do I do with Ursaluna's action, though? It's so awkward that Ursaluna is slower than Calyrex. Honestly, I think I switch back to Pichu. Get fake out pressure. It's the last turn of Trick Room. I might need that fake out pressure anyway. Ursaluna's set up for later. Rage Powder. You don't have wide guard on the field anymore. Not min speed hands, good to know. It survives. Ah, unfortunate. But, okay. We get this +1 now. I don't know if I'm getting this Trick Room back up. Calyrex is kind of low. Pichu has its Focus Sash moment. Should I bring in Lunala next? gotta be Lunala, right? How do I deal with that? I think I need to try to get Trick Room back up, but I don't know if I can get Trick Room back up. I can't fake out Lunala. But just have to fake out the hands and hope for the best. It's Miraidon? Why? Iron Hands probably only has fighting and electric attack. Oh, it could have Heavy Slam. But I think Miraidon having Dazzling Gleam is more likely than Iron Hands having Heavy Slam. The fake out goes into Miraidon, and I click Trick Room, and I hope for the best. Oh, they run a Heavy Slam, though. This one is fake out. Usually you'd have fake out, low kick, drain punch, wild charge. But you could, we know they have drain punch, you could drop low kick, I suppose. Let's see. I do think in closed team sheet, not knowing my opponent's team, the fake out into Miraidon is better here, but it could go wrong. Also, do I know... Okay, Calyrex is kind of low, but Calyrex is pretty heavy, too. Do I know that Heavy Slam knocks it out? I don't know that I do. They switch. Okay, perfect. Trick Room's going back up. I don't know why they bring Lunala in now. I feel like it would have been way harder to deal with if we're already on the field this turn. Instead, they don't do any damage this turn. Trick Room goes back up. Ursaluna goes crazy now. Should be able to, at least. Helping Hand, high horsepower. Let's go. I still have to actually beat the Lunala, but... Ursaluna is really good for that. Magearna is probably pretty good for that, too. Magearna is like... Magearna has an amount of credibility for that. Magearna is a Pokemon. And a pretty strong one. What's this? Terra? Fairy? Fairy? Big Dazzling Gleam coming out after this? Nope, because it's knocked out. Okay. Oh, they reversed the Trick Room. Okay, didn't think of that one, did I? But their biggest threat outside of Trick Room is gone. This can fake out Pichu if it wants. Oh, you know what's a really funny play if I get away with it? Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to get away with it. Lunala's going to be faster than Pichu. Oh well. I don't want to let Calyrex get faked out and Moongeist beamed for nothing. Actually, probably would have been better Volt Switch Lunala. There probably was an actual reasonable thing I could do with Pichu there, because, you know, break Shadow Shield, but oh well. I saw a funny idea, and I locked it in perhaps too quickly. Moongeist Beam into Calyrex. Iron Hands did not go for fake out. What did it go for? Locked them into Moongeist Beam, which, you know what, actually is helpful to Ursaluna. If I can just deal with his hands. Yeah, you can't click electric attacks right now. No. That's not how this goes. Helping Hand, Glacial Lance. Do I get to execute the attack? If I do, then Ursaluna just beats Lunala. There's no need for Trick Room. There's also no need to actually execute the attack because he mono forfeits there. That worked out fine. Pichu did so much of that game. That was such a good... That might be the best Pichu game I've ever had. Even though this format is more hostile to it than Series 13 was. They just couldn't handle the Pichu. Honestly, I think with this team, if you face Ice Ride or Calyrex, I think you try to overwhelm it with an offensive mode. Something like Chien-Pao Koraidon, Chi-Yu Miraidon, or even Chi-Yu Koraidon. I don't think you lead your Incineroar. I think you just try to lead all-out offense. Of the kind that can be disrupted by a fake out. I might be wrong. We'll see. Well, it's not all-out offense, but it's also not Incineroar. If I get this Trick Room, I'm just gonna do this. It's never yet been punished today. If I get this Trick Room, I'd probably then have to switch the Calyrex out, right? That's annoying, but oh well. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Indeed, he actually would shut down the Encore. But I genuinely thought Pichu was actually better than Indeedee here, because I thought most likely they would lead with one of their turbo offense modes and try to overwhelm me with spread damage. I was not kidding. I actually thought Pichu was the better choice here. Eh. Win some, lose some. I'm going to protect Calyrex here. I actually would rather not switch Calyrex out if I can avoid it. Let's see if I lock Whimsicott into something other than Encore. If not, then I guess I have to switch Calyrex out. Nah. Can you lock them into Encore? I don't know if that actually works. It doesn't. Alright, Whimsicott's free to do what it wants now. If they're going for Dark Pulse... Okay, it's risky. They can very obviously punish this. I'm going to click Volt Switch with Pichu into Chi-Yu, and I'm going to click... I'm going to Hard Switch to Magearna, because Magearna can take a Dark Pulse. If they Overheat instead here, or Heat Wave, then I look foolish, but I have to do something here. Oh, Chi-Yu's beads lighting up on the blue form is pretty interesting looking. It's Encore and... Volt Switch next. I'm going to go Ursaluna here, just in case it's a Heat Wave from the Chi-Yu. I don't want to throw both of my restricted Pokemon that are weak to fire into that. This also gives me my burn, if Ursaluna doesn't get knocked out immediately. It is Dark Pulse into Magearna. Nice. Sometimes it pays off to switch your moves. I'm going to Headlong Rush the Chi-Yu and Flash Cannon the Whimsicott. Maybe a Dazzling Gleam would be better. Catch them trying to reposition or something. Both their restricteds are Dragon types. But if I could just take 2 KOs here, that would be ideal. Especially since I kind of goofed around on my first couple Trick Room turns. Who's this? Koraidon. Okay. See, Dazzling Gleam might have been nice here, but how well is this going to take a Headlong Rush? And they can't Encore me with anything because I just got both of these Pokemon on the field. It survives, but not very well. Flash Cannon now. It could be Sash Whimsicott on this team. It's not. Covert Cloak is more common. I just meant it could be Sash. No more Encore pressure, ever. I did kind of squander a couple of Trick Room turns, but I have gotten rid of the Whimsicott. I've gotten a lot of damage into Koraidon. If Chi-Yu gets back in outside of Trick Room, that's really, really scary, because I have the Sun powering it up now. But here's the Miraidon. Oh, how I would love to simply Earthquake here, but I don't want to knock out my own Magearna. I actually could sack Pichu to my Earthquake. But they haven't used their Terra yet. It's the last turn of Trick Room. I wasted so much time. They also could Protect, if they have it. They could Terra the Miraidon. Switch to Pichu and Earthquake is pretty funny, but I think I better cover for a Miraidon Terra if I Facade Miraidon and Dazzling Gleam. Koraidon protects. Okay. Well, just as well that I didn't click a big spread move. They're going to get Koraidon and Chi-Yu outside of Trick Room. Not great for me. I still have my Terra. I can Terra Water Magearna. They might try to take Magearna out with a Fire attack and like close combat the Ursaluna. Magearna being faster than Ursaluna, I can click Earthquake this next turn, so if Magearna is knocked out early, but Ursaluna gets a chance to attack, I'm fine. creates a position where either one of my Pokemon actually getting to attack does a lot for me. If I Terra Water Magearna, Dazzling Gleam, and I Earthquake with Ursaluna. Unless I'm missing something. Anyway. I think it's probably close combat into Ursaluna and Fire Attack into Magearna. And I hope Magearna takes the Fire Attack, gets a KO or 2. Sets me up to win this. That's the hope. What's the Terra here? It's Chiyu. It's Ghost. Okay. That means I can never fake it out. Which actually might make a difference in the end game. Well, I can never fake it out again. I already did once. Everybody's letting me do it to their Chiyu turn 1. Heat Wave. Knocks out her. Okay, no, this is bad. In fact, I think I'd lose on the spot. Because Magearna survives this, but now the Koraidon's attack has nowhere to go but Magearna. And it was Flare Blitz anyway. I found a better play. Okay, I have 1 out. Wait, hold on. The Koraidon drops its own Life Orb. I don't think that makes a difference. I think I have 1 out. I can't fake out the Chiyu. I think my out is they miss Heat Wave. The one question I have is... How many more Sun turns are there? Too many to matter here, so... I think there's a 90% chance I lose this game and a 10% chance that I win. Simple as that. And it's the 90%. Okay. Pichu Volt Switch didn't do enough here anyway. I get the burn, so they get to wrap it up this turn. Almost had something there. But yeah, the Whimsicott. Like I said, I genuinely thought Pichu was better than Indeedee here because I thought they would lead with just 2 offensive Pokemon and try to overwhelm my Trick Room setters, and Fake Out disrupted that. But I guess they covered for that with what they led instead. With the Whimsicott able to threaten me with Encore. I wasted a couple of Trick Room turns just repositioning. If I just switch the Calyrex out right away... No. If I just switch the Calyrex out right away, instead of doing the wishful thinking turn with Protect, that would have bought me a little bit more time. But I also wouldn't have known that they were clicking Dark Pulse into that slot, which was what gave me the idea to switch Magearna in there. Another Lucario Rhyperior team. Another Lucario Rhyperior Shadow Rider Terapagos team, but this one has a Glamora. Is this a known composition in this format that I just don't know? You know something funny? Pichu into Glamora is really awkward because Toxic Debris. I think it's still a Pichu game. I think this is still what a Pichu game looks like. Let's go. Credit for having a trainer card featuring Kieran that isn't dunking on Kieran. Lots of respect for that. Okay, this is basically the same position as that other game with the same thought process. Fake Out into Terapagos is very safe, but I don't want to make Calyrex weak to Terra Starstorm if I can avoid it. And not a single opponent has ever punished Fake Out into Chiyu so far today. And I don't have to Terrasilize if I can flinch the Chiyu. They're taking some time with this. What if they're thinking about Terrasilizing their Chiyu? That's a Terrapagos team. They're going to terrestrialize the Terrapagos. Someone finally punished it. This is the first one all day. Now Terra Fairy would be pretty free because there's no Terra Starstorm punishing it. Maybe Terra Water Magirna can win this. Wouldn't bet on it. But that's what I've got. To try to set that Trick Room. That is the first opponent all day to actually terrestrialize their Chi-Yu in front of my Fake Out user. Crazy stuff. I don't know, dude. Volt Switch. Air Water Trick Room. There's Flamethrower again, it's probably choiced. Terra Starstorm! KOs. This is definitely harder than it was in Sword and Shield. Go figure, when pretty much everyone is using the same team, more exploitable. Yeah, I just clicked Earthquake. Pichu doesn't do much at this point. I mean, I lose at this point anyway, but... Can I get a couple of KOs? Nope. Just one. Probably should have clicked Helping Hand instead of Fake Out, but it didn't matter to the outcome of the game. Okay. It's probably best that I call it here for today and resume tomorrow. I'm only hesitating because there's no more leeway after tomorrow, right? As soon as the ladder shuts down for the end of the season, if I haven't done it by then, it's just not done in November. I can do it in December. I don't want to. I can. They have two ghost types. They could lead them together. They could lead Chi-Yu, turn it into a ghost type. They could use Indeedee to shut down my Fake Out. I don't think it's a Pichu game. Alright. That's enough laddering for today. Turns out Ultra Ball Tier kind of has hands. You can see one of them on that Calyrex head right now. I'm gonna think about changes to the team. I think I will at least teach Protect to Magirna. It'll take a few more wins to get to Master Ball if that is in the cards. But yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Goodbye.